hard reset button. If you don't go on Shadow Demon, he's going to get you every single time, or he's going to save his teammate. And then Shaman's there to sort of protect him as well. Like, they have good ways to defend around that.
Virtus Pro, they were sitting on the high ground. RNG, though, marching force with the 4-man, trying to secure these bounty runes and maybe getting a first blood as Ramsey's toasting open wounds to try and get a kill, but instead, he may fall. Black shot for Lana. The second place finisher at TI9 will secure the first blood for RNG.
So I really liked how Dendi put it, though. He was saying one team is going to be very aggressive, the other team is just going to farm up. The VP, they have to play around the Enigma more than any other hero. I feel like Roger needs to have a big performance. It's not really going to come down to the Storm's game. If you're no one in a game like this, you're just going to rotate around the map, try to open up the side lanes as much as you possibly can. And that's all you can really do. The game, I think, is not fully in his hands.
I don't think I've ever seen a more value, at least with the new Curse of Avernus, a more value level 1 Curse of Avernus for Flyby there. Got a lot of damage against the Tidehunter. They actually have a 1v1 matchup here while running a defensive tri-lane to try and protect the Alchemist. VP, though, trying to assert some early aggression, running the Lifestealer into the Alch. I'm sure this is all just about trying to shut down Monet's farm, right?
Yeah, if you can make it so that the Alch doesn't hit that 12, like 13 minutes Radiance timing, I mean, most people can get it by 11. But if you can slow it down to the 20-minute mark, 18-minute mark, you're going to have a lot of room to play with.
And they can also be greedy with this Roger 4-position Enigma, but Lanham, he knows what this Enigma wants to be able to do. He wants to be able to free farm the jungle. And that's why he's there, trying to sap some of that experience, maybe take a last hit or two.
I think he's doing the right thing.
Kill some Eidolons, and Shadow Shaman's base damage is so good for this.
Yes, and Roger's going to deny it, but getting him out of the jungle and forcing him away so they can't help out this bottom lane, I think is completely the right idea. This is what's going to allow Monet to have a free lane.
Now it means the Enigma won't be able to just like pop over to that bottom lane, go for a gank with the Malefice or something like that. And Shadow Shaman, Lanham can choose to assert his dominance, right? He can either continue to follow Roger around into that other jungle, or he can go back and go the full defensive tri-lane around Monet.
Yeah, absolutely. Or they could just go towards mid and harass out no one. Slowing down his game makes it so that you're protecting your side lanes anyways. And that might be what he opts to do. Just hanging around here, maybe looking for the courier, but bottom lane.
Look at all these stacks. With the disruption as well, they're going to be able to get the 5th poison. And perhaps another one that's not going to be enough to kill Solo, but it will do a significant amount of damage. We're seeing the power of this 5-position Ogre. It started things off really well for Secret against EG in that game 3, just bodying the Enchantress. And here Solo's having his influence in the bottom lane as well.
And the best part about playing Ogre is just the pure amount of regen that you have in armor. This hero does not care about trading. One of the few 5-position heroes that just doesn't really feel bad ever about it. And Roger, if you see, I mean, Lanham is not giving him an easy time in the jungle. He's taking the last 2 hits right there. I think he understands that Roger's the key hero, like we talked about. The Enigma Black Hole is the best spell in this game. If you know that, slow down the Enigma's game. And conversely, what that'll do is just help your Alch's game, as Monet even digs in the middle of them.
Having a little fun with it. How's our mid matchup supposed to go here? The Storm Spirit versus the Leshrac. No one doing very well for himself. Is he outplaying Setsu, or is this how the matchup goes?
I think you have to win the first wave if you're Lesh.
Okay.
That's usually how it goes. Like, you have to hit the first stun, get the range creep, harass out, and then you can win the lane pretty easily.
So the onus is on you. You have to be able to land the split Earths and kind of put pressure on the Storm Spirit right away.
Yeah, because if you think about it, until level 3, your Lightning Storm isn't going to be very good.
Yeah.
Like, right now at level 2, as a spell, 120 damage, doesn't really hurt you that much. Storm's got good enough base armor that it deals with the Leshrac's right click pretty well. So it means that you have to take advantage of going for the range creep, getting the last hits on them, and he's just not doing so right now.
An Invis Rune to be able to reset, but Apu is here. Is he going to try and grab it? Fire blasted up. Solo says, sorry, buddy, but I can't give you this refill of the bottle. I'm going to have to take it for myself. Apu turns around, slowing down the Storm Spirit, knowing that if Solo got another stun, he might have given up the second kill.
And this, once again, Lanham chasing out Roger. He's going to cancel the clarity. No.
Dude, Lanham is relentless. Seems both in life as well as inside of this game. This is a man who attended the first international, was on eHome, managed to place second, and has continued to play for this long. Very, very few times you see a player have such a long career.
You know what this reminds me of? The way that he's playing this Shaman is sort of how a lot of teams treat Bounty versus Chen.
Yeah.
Where they just walk around.
5-minute bounty runes. Roger reveals himself. Carrying the bounty runes, but RNG with an Alchemist, they're fine with 2-2 split any time of the day.
The thing that does scare me about Lana's game, though, is hey, eventually this Enigma will catch up.
Yeah.
Like, he'll hit level 3, he'll have level 2 conversions, and he'll be just fine. Whereas Lana, I mean, he's in a different position entirely. They do spot him jungling, but they want to try to make the rotation onto the Storm mid before he hits level 6. They'd like to lead with Afu if possible, so he's going to go all the way around to get the complete sandwich.
This is about that time that no one usually rotate into the jungle to finish off his level 6, right?
Yeah, they're trying to anticipate that right now, and that's exactly what he's going to go for, but he's going to walk in,
Setsu. They get there in time. Setsu and Lana, they're going to be able to get the Ether Shock as well as the Split Earth held until after the Shackles. They'll be able to get that kill. Trading out Lana is no big deal for RNG, getting the very, very big kill and shutting down no one and keeping him at that crucial level 5 is what the goal was.
That was really well done by Afu. He decided to go for the left angle in, because if no one does indeed decide to go for the jump right there, it completely just wastes 2 people time.
Yep.
But instead, he goes in, finds the angle, completely goes around, and that's just being patient. And he reads no one perfectly. A lot of Storms at this point will just farm out this jungle camp, get there level 6, and then you have a free lane. So, the Leshrac will never kill you.
And once he gets into that position, right, it's really hard to gank him because he's right on high ground. Your smoke is going to pop. He's going to spot you. He's right by his shrine. There's going to be TP rotations. So it was crucial for RNG to catch him before he retreated to his jungle. Lanham is going to be spotted.
And he's just trying to soak
by that
XP,
ward.
Trying to slow down Roger as much as possible. But like I said, he's going to hit level 2 conversions. Lanham's still level 2 only.
How do you fix this problem for Lanham? Does like Setsu at some point give up the mid lane to Lanham for him to be able to make a comeback?
I'm not sure, because it's a little bit scary having a Tidehunter in the game, especially when he has this many levels early on. What ends up happening is any sort of initiation that happens, you can sort of play like a Quap or a Puck, where fight goes on, your team's getting assailed under the tower, you TP in, and you threaten with Ravage.
Look at Flyby, he's just laying into Pasha, and Pasha for the most part has been ignoring him, and the CS reflects that. Pasha really has not been shut down by Flyby all that much, it's just a few CS behind him, despite the fact that we do have this 2 levels Curse of Avernus plus Phase Boots on the Abaddon. Solo trying to interrupt Monet's farming.
Yeah, they're going to bring up Roger here too.
But Monet does have the Chemical Rage, he's going to pop it here. Afu also rotating over to make sure there isn't a greater force of VP heroes. Everything's all about Monet right now, and this is not the Alchemist of old where you're farming up to be able to get 4 or 5 items and then you're finally a threat. This is a very mid-game centric Alchemist on the meta right now. Lanham's going to be gone on the bottom lane. Pasha rotating out of his lane. He says it's time to take some tower, boys. They cannot bite into the Ravage, and so they should be able to get that kill and that tower for free-ish.
And this is the best part about this Tidehunter, is because he's been given a free lane, you know that he's strong. He has Phase Boots, Bracer, it's not easy to burst him, you don't want to fight around him. Ramsey's TP's top, but Flyby is not an easy kill either.
And that's why I said it, right, is that Flyby was going to try and pressure that top tower, but Ramsey's does manage to clear out most of the creep wave, keeps the pressure off that tower, still getting CS. He's just not really threatened by a solo Abaddon all that much.
And they're going to run into Solo here.
Oh, Monet managed to get the kill on Solo.
I mean, he hung around for so long. Like, Monet was just farming. He poking at, and at some point, somebody was going to come in. Like, the fact that he didn't think he was going to get punished for that was a little bit crazy, but doesn't really mean too much as it's just an ogre. The big news for VP is they were able to defend their top tower and get the bottom one for free.
Try Jun. Setsu here is going to be pulled back to Solo with the Fire Blast. Chain sending him up. Setsu still alive, but the final nail in the coffin is going to be the Gush from Pasha. It's another rotation by him, picking up his team fight. You expected maybe that he would be farming his lanes for 15 minutes, but no. This has been an active Tidehunter as soon as he's gotten level 7.
He needs to be too, because he doesn't have a 4 position. There's no other playmaker in the game for him.
Yep. 3-3, 10-minute bounty runes are coming up, and you know with an Alchemist in the game, there's always going to be fight about it.
Yeah, plus no one is a little bit hampered by all the action that happened. The gank, he just got treads. It's not fun to gank his Storm without treads. Don't have enough attack speed. You want the ability to tread swap when you do gank. Now that he has it, maybe he gets trying to build into that Kaya. I'd like to see him rotate and play around this top lane, though. I don't think Flyby is really the hero that you necessarily want to go for. He's not an easy kill, and I feel like it takes too long. The alternative is I could see them collapse into mid tower. I'd like to see some sort of smoke play. Bring your Ravage. Show how strong your Tide is at all times. The only downside is they don't really push towers that quickly.
No, they certainly do not. The only reason they took bottom is because they had 4 heroes there. Yeah, and that's maybe part of the reason Pasha has been hanging around this jungle area. He's taking away from Monet while simultaneously putting sort of a passive pressure on mid lane, ready to make that rotation. While top lane, Ramsey's trying to go and kill on Lana, but there is going to be the Aphotic Shield. And if anything, Ramsey's got to be careful. If his rage runs out, Flyby could go for the silence, but that's what Infest is for. Takes away the Siege Wagon, while the rest of his team with the Siege Wagon of their own.
So this is the play that they make. Bring your Tide to the front line, and Flyby's like, you can do that to bottom, but not to mid.
Yeah.
This is the correct play. We're making it around the Siege Wagon. They brought all their cores here. We talked about how important it is in our other cast to protect mid tower is what enables some of the greedier cores like Alchemist. It's what allows you to protect the jungle without having to smoke, as Lana forced the TP out of top.
All the more important when you're matched up against an Alchemist, right? Like trying to take away some of his farm. Take advantage of the fact that he is AFK jungling right now, is not going to come out of that area until he has Radiance +1 item, usually maybe Blink, possibly AC.
And I'd like to see them continue to try to go for this mid tower, though. Let Roger get his mech. He's somewhat close to it. Make your way towards mid, show the strength of your 5-man.
It's hard, though, with Flyby sitting there. He is so far, sitting at 5,200 net worth, even ahead of the Lifestealer with flats and phase boots.
He's serving a similar purpose as the Tide Hunter, but he wasn't forced to go for the 5-man as early. Yeah. That's the big difference here.
Pasha.
Run into Pasha.
Backstroke near high, but RNG, who had smoked up on the high ground, going to be able to find him. Purging Pasha. They're going to be able to get the silence on him as well. Pasha holding on to the Ravage for a while, but now he can turn. Papa potentially does manage to get him in the hole. Right on top of it, the 3-man black hole. They got completely baited in. That watermelon looked awfully delicious, and RNG wanted to take the bite. They do manage to finish off the Tide, but it's going to cost them 2, possibly 3. Another Aphotic Shield activates the Shrine. Flyby, very tanky here. Knows that he needs to be able to fight back. He's got no other options. A second round of Aphotic Shield for him. Is VP really going to try and chase him down all this way? Another Aphotic Shield's coming up, but the Fire Blast multi-cast comes just a bit too late and a bit too far away.
Still a very good fight for them. They're going to run in, find Art Style. War trapped up by Lana, trying to get out, but this should be enough as Lana picks up the last hit, but Ramsey's during this entire time trying to get back into this game through the farm. But he might be a little bit behind right now because the Alchemist has just completed his Radiance during this time.
What is the timing they're usually looking for with a Lifestealer against an Alchemist? How does that matchup really work?
I don't know, because I don't think you can go straight up for the Radiance.
Yeah.
I feel like that loses you the game, which is why indeed he opts to go for the Armlet, because you're always going to be one item behind the Alchemist in that regard.
Yeah.
He'll get BKB, AC, then he's unkillable anyways.
And your damage over time just really isn't going to have effect on an Alchemist.
Yeah, you want burst.
Rage. You want that big burst, so that's why he's going Armlet. Probably, what, Deso after that? Maybe an AC at some point?
Yes, I'd like to see... I could see Deso AC.
Yeah.
I think that's the perfect build, in fact.
And you've got the lineup to be able to enable that burst with a Storm Spear.
The only downside is their initial burst is going to come onto the backline. Yeah. What'll happen is Ramses hops into the Storm. They try to catch out the Shadow Demon. Once he gets bursted, maybe then you move on to the Shaman. And you sort of have to just leave the Alch for last. Hope that you have enough control for him, which VP likely do. Their lineup just has to greed out a little bit more because of Roger.
Zetsu. Vertex Pro, they have their eyes on him. The slow roll forward from no one is going to be able to catch Zetsu. The TPs are coming in. The Shadow Demon looking to be able to get that disruption, but he's just not there in time. Afu now looks for the offensive disruption. He's got both Flyby as well as Monet, who's going to make his first showing with the Radiance. Solo is going to be the victim once again of RNG's rotation.
And they feel fine about that. Storm gets out, no problem. Was able to pick up the last hit because of that plus 30 overload damage talent. A lot more Storms have been taking it lately. And it especially helps if you're trying to enable other cores. If you know that you're not the read one position, which I don't think he is in a game like this. All he has to do is be able to fight in the mid game, and RNG are taking advantage of this.
Words being used with that curse as well.
And Setsu's not quite there yet. Maybe they take the fight.
On him. He's going to be a little bit low immediately. The opponent shield comes out. They're trying to run ahead. Oh, no one didn't expect that one, but he is going to be saved. He is able to jump out. Now the red down. He is going to be able to hit the Abaddon while they focus down the Shadow Demon, but he managed to get off the disruption. Can Flyby save him, or else he's just going to focus on Monet entirely. Monet in front of all these heroes now with Setsu in with Radiance as well. This burn damage coming out from the Leshrac. It's too much for VP to be able to handle. Oh, Ramsey's trying to man fight against his Alchemist with the Fire Blast. Can he actually do it with the guts as well? So much fight its armor. Monet no longer has the rage, and he's actually going to fall. No one dies, but it looks like VP will take off Setsu as well with Pasha living through it all. RNG, they came through and thought that they were bigger than VP with their Radiance and Leshrac timing, but it didn't work.
No, Setsu is still dead. For a little bit too long, he's making his way up, just doesn't have enough time. As long, I'm gonna run into the Tide real quick, but Pasha in this game has been an absolute monster. His positioning, the way he's been using his Ravage, his team fight, his positioning in that fight enabled all of that.
I think what's cool about that is that his movements and stuff have been very atypical of Tidehunters.
Yes.
Right? And it takes a smart player to be able to think outside of the box, think outside of your average Tidehunter game, and think about what will win us this game.
Oh, for sure. Pasha right now is playing to win 1-1-7, but his score doesn't really quite reflect the impact that he's had in this game.
Yeah.
He's just been a thorn in RNG's side, and you'd like to see them bring him here so that he can defend mid, and look at that, he's here again. He's going to make the jump.
For the captain of VP, but Bottom, he's going to be with a beautiful black hole. Fence to lock down the 3, and it looks like Monet's going to get popped before Flyby could provide any sort of saving grace. Now Wafu will die as well. How many times are you going to kill Solo before you realize it's just a bait?
And they all have ranged heroes. They have a lot of ranged heroes, but they keep running into the black hole of Roger. And again, it's Pasha leading the defense for his team, telling them, we're not giving up this tower.
Nope.
And as a result, they're going to take mid tower for themselves. This is going to open up the jungle for them to take advantage of, and that's exactly what they draw around. They're saying, this area is now ours. Don't allow RNG back in here.
Very decisive movements from VP, whether it's taking that top fight or this one right here, reading the fact that RNG have put themselves in a bad position trying to move into that high ground after Solo, and all get clumped up for just a beautiful black hole. Even if they didn't have Ravage, VP still red. That was a good fight to take.
I think RNG's thought process there was there's no Ravage up, and we have so many different cancels for this Enigma. Why wouldn't we? Top lane.
Oh, look at that win probability. It's nasty already. VP with the 82% win probability by 17.5 minutes in. I mean, Dendy said this is going to be bears who are just going to be farming up some honey. VP have been doing that. They have the better late game with this Storm Spirit Tide and Enigma combo. Let's not forget that Lifestealer and Ogre are not slouches in the late game either. This is really concerning for RNG.
Yeah, I mean, I think the one thing that we all thought was VP would be a little bit more passive. I think even Dendy thought they'd be a little bit more passive, and they just sort of been running at them, and it's all on the heels of Pasha. I can't talk about his play enough in this game because I feel like his positioning, the way he's rotating around, protecting a team's towers and leading fights. This is a Tidehunter without Blink Dagger, and he's always in a good position. Bottom lane.
Jumping forward. Oh no, we actually pulled down the illusion. And now,
might be a death now.
Ramses is way too far forward as a result of a bit of an error. Oh, Ravage going out, but now Ravage has been used for nothing. VP, now it's their turn to make some errors as the pressure of TI continues to crack teams.
Maybe, I think if he actually hits the right one, probably gets out.
Yeah.
He doesn't get purged there. It's quick.
He quickly kills the Shadow Demon, might be able to infect inside of the Storm Spirit. They get out together, but now RNG have an opening here. Now it's their turn to punish mistakes getting a Roshan like this is really going to kill VP's timing that they were getting to, where they were able to actively and confidently contest RNG.
And without the black hole, without the Ravage, that's really what signals this is.
I mean, I can't believe they're really going to try this without black hole, without Ravage, but the Midnight Pulse is forcing RNG outside of the pit. Now the disruption going in, they're going to try and get the kill onto the Storm Turret, they got it too. But the old got stable concoction as well. Ramsey's trying to finish on some of the supports, but there is going to be the disruption now from Afu. Flyby is ready to go with some heals as well. Bottom's going to be able to limp away. No one with a buyback is be able to finish off at least one support, but Ramsey's, he needs to be able to get out of here with his rage timer, but the unstable concoction nails him. He's trying to get away from Flyby right now. Slow down. Oh, the black hole gets canceled. 5 cents to beautiful heal scepter by him, and now looks to be able to chase down the heroes. They couldn't actually get the 2 big cores of VP, so they'll have to suffice for Roger. The 4th position Enigma, he will be the one to fall, and RNG, can they go back to the pit after a short pit stop at the Shrine? Roshan still at 2,000 health.
Absolutely, this is theirs for free now. The black hole just came up, wasn't able to accomplish enough, and this is going to be relatively free for them.
Yeah, look at that. Monet carrying that fight when it comes to the damage, but it's also the disables and the saves from the other RNG member.
It's if one hero can't get you, another one will. They have so many different ways to protect each other, which is what we were waiting for. They finally get off a clean fight.
And all those buybacks, the two supports of RNG bought back, but well worth it to be able to get a buyback out of no one while still claiming the Aegis.
And Lifestealer going for the Deso, it looks like.
And he's almost got it. At least getting within striking distance. But he can't afford to die here, and he's already used the invest. That's going to make things awkward, especially if he gets hexed up by Lottom, who had the Aether Lens, was able to get the stun outside of the tree range, and Ramsey's now being stunned up. Does have the rage up in a second, but he won't be able to TP away so easily. If Monet can actually find him and punch him down, but they went left, while Ramsey's went right.
A Radiant using echolocation.
12-16, and we've got ourselves a pretty even game, and it is an Alchemist game, so that net worth being even may still be in the favor of VP, but RNG with the Aegis should be able to start knocking down some towers and build up a bigger net worth lead.
The scary part about the Aegis at this point is it gives you so much map control.
Yeah.
This is what's going to enable RNG to get a little bit more space on the map. They were sort of getting choked out for the time being, but this is how you continue to protect your jungle. If you notice the 2 wards that they were able to place as a result of these fights.
Radiant's middle tower is under
And now they can get a little bit more aggressive.
They're just going to do the classic sweep from tier 1 to tier 2. They're strong enough that VP don't want to contest the first. There's still no black hole up. There is going to be a Ravage, but I don't think they're contesting Monet and all these Serpent wards. On the other side of the map, there is Roger. And he gets some damage onto the tier 1 tower, but doesn't quite finish it off. If anything, Monet is going to be happy to find some Eidolons to farm.
Top lane not being denied for the time being. They're going to de-ward, reset the map a little around their Alk. There's only one more tier 2 tower to take, but it's the mid tower, and it's not an easy one.
What do you think RNG should go for? What should their plan be with this remaining Aegis timer? Can they just boldly go to the tier 2, or is the team fight of VP too scary?
I think it's always scary. I think the better move is to sweep out this jungle as a group. Try to get wards down if you have any. Take advantage of this, but they actually don't have any. So maybe they just go down mid. They can meet the creep wave, it's almost there.
Monet. They push down top. He's gonna cut in this mid lane as well.
I think if you're VP,
Storm Spirit.
Oh, they'll wait for the BKB on Enigma first.
Oh, is that coming in? Ooh, they do not have a cancel for it, so that would be a sick pickup. But RNG, they're going to push the pace. They've already taken this tier 2, but they are showing no signs of slowing down as Monet is going to go for the stun onto Solo. The bottom of the split earth, a clean kill. No rebuttal from VP, and now going to be forced into a 4 versus 5.
And look at this tower. It's going down really quickly.
Yeah, Monet's just dropping it to bits, but they do have the light stealer. Best combo, Monet got Hex, as well as Fuel Scepter. They're going to try and hit him with the split earth, but no one can just stand with that. No, unless the Rams can actually see what the Bible is on. He takes that. Only no one doesn't have buyback either. Afu does manage to actually kite around the light stealer as well. This is a but the unstable concoction is taking it. It's gonna find the Tidehunter. He's gonna burn out from the Radiance in the Aphotic Shield explosion. Just a little
still getting chased.
HP, but he's still good. And Ramses, who had been making this chase for so long, he does have his raid. He will be able to fight back, but what can he really do with it? Setsu is so much that Ramses certainly won't be able to bring him down. He's gonna be forced to TP back to base, and that is going to be a mid lane of barracks at least, if not more, with 40 seconds on the clock for no one.
Ramses just chased Afu from the map for almost a minute. Doesn't die, wasn't able to help his team. They're just gonna go for it.
Solo will fall. Roger has the buyback. Oh no, they're gonna lose Ramses. Instantly buys back. How is VP gonna stop this push? Is RNG? They seem unstoppable right now.
It's happening in a hurry right now, Cap.
They're going to try and go for Afu with the Solar Crest, Aphotic Shield. Somebody heals coming out from the Mist Coil as well. They're going to turn onto Ramses. Monet runs out of the chemical range. A nice Fire Blast done onto Monet. And now without the chemical range, they're going to try and bring down this Aegis. Monet, he's somewhat okay with this. They're actually going to try and focus on some of the other heroes as Monet will slowly take out, but first,
Monet's still alive.
Flyby. You have to deal with Monet at some point in time. He has the Radiance that's burning you down. He has that AT or I was going to
nice timing.
BKB, but if they finish him off, there it is. They just wait out the Aegis. A beautiful read by VP.
It did cost them the racks, though.
It certainly did. That could not feel good for VP as they're down 9,000 net worth, 1.5 lanes of barracks.
That's one of those weird situations where I think they knew that the Aegis was about to fade out. They had a better timer on it, obviously.
Yeah.
But the downside of it is, the 100 HP Alk just took racks in front of you.
Yeah. I mean, he only needs a few seconds with that Assault Cuirass, even if he's not in Chemical Rage form.
Come on, I'm gonna run into no one here. They found him once again. Doesn't have the mana, though.
Gonna get away from this one. The Zip. This time, Setsu, he's been really good on the timings. With that Yule Scepter split Earth, he's been reacting very quickly, but this time, he missed on no one.
And for the next fight, they will have the BKB Black Hole, but I mean, timing-wise, what we've learned is Dendy's right.
Yeah.
They're gonna ball up. They're just gonna sort of go for it. I think VP were outplaying them. They were overplaying their late game lineup by taking these really smart fights. But they miss 1 or 2 ultis, and all of a sudden it just resets the game. They're able to take Roshan. I mean, they just march down towers.
We saw the win probability was heavily in the favor of VP at one point in time, but no longer. As now it's siding heavily with RNG, as it should. And it's gonna take a bit of a miracle here for Virtus Pro. Let's see what they're able to pull off. Their backs against the wall in this game one. Virtus Pro have long been known to choke at the International. You heard it themselves. They said they don't know what it is, but the International is just a special tournament. And everybody else seems to fare okay, but VP always perform much worse than they have the rest of the DPC season. And the hope was that coming into this tournament, not being the front runners, not being one of the top 3 teams, may have given them a little more leeway against some of the other teams. Maybe they didn't study Virtus Pro as much. But being in the lower bracket and now potentially 1 game down against RNG, the VP curse seems to be returning. 17 to 18, 28 minutes in.
And this is where you stop things. There's no one. He's looking for the jump right now, but doesn't want to go in first. Doesn't have a BKB.
Yeah, we've seen that because the lack of the BKB, both the Shadow Shaman and Setsu's Leshrac.
Here's the problem.
Super fast on their timing.
You go in for Lanham, he gets shoved in.
Yeah.
Fight stuff.
Yeah.
Fight just ends. You can't go on flyby. And if you can't go on flyby, then he'll just reset the fight for the team anyways. All of your stuns are cleared out. He feels fine. Even if he gets Ravaged, just pop his ulti.
VP
gonna go in.
They decide they're gonna try and fight around these strike pits.
Oh, they went on the illusion!
They went on the illusion! He's just realized. He does manage to get the black hole in the back. Just evaporated. It's support already down. Sentu's stunned up on the side here, but the cores of RNG are fighting strong. They've already got a bath on Rogers. Meg's gonna be able to heal him up a little bit more. This goal not gonna be enough. Ramsey gets the range up as well. Can they help him? He's got an infest. He should be able to get away. No one's not a mana. Just shy of being able to get to the other side of the cliff, but now he's stuck and now he's dead.
Oh no.
He has a buyback though.
That initiation. It It took them so long to realize, too. If they had the damage in that fight, maybe this is a little bit different.
The buyback is available for no one. RNG are here in force. It's just Pasha certainly needs the help. No one tries to jump over immediately, gets hexed up. He's trying to go for Optical. Just the opponent any time to go fine. RNG has the answer. Ramses will fail to get the kill, but no one not pick up on himself. And now he's controlled up by the Jackal Fence. RNG take game number 1 against the CIS powerhouse of Virtus Pro.
And that game happened. We were looking at
Of Virtus Pro.
And that game happened in a hurry. We were looking at an 82% win probability for VP at one point, and that was at like 17 minutes. And 10 minutes later, the game's just over.
Royal never